Hey everyone, welcome to my podcast, TJ Wilk, The Naked Truth. I am your host, TJ Wilk, and this is my 8th podcast. For those of you who have been asking, where have I been with my podcasts? I want to apologize. I have just been so busy making movies, playing the lead role in these films I've been doing back to back. This probably has been maybe 4 or 5 months since my last podcast. This is my 8th episode. So I'm proud of that. But yes, it's just been so busy for me in the business and no complaints. Every film has been amazing. 2025 as a whole has been an incredible year. I booked 16 films that were vertical films and 3 films that were not vertical films. So 19 total. I've had a ton of auditions. I've done maybe a dozen podcasts about my business experience and my journey and working as a film actor, which has been great. And just this week alone, it's already 2026. Happy New Year, by the way. Hope you all had a great and safe Happy New Year. But already this past weekend in the new year, I've got 8 auditions that I just did, 2 callbacks, and 2 film offers. So diving right into the year, more busy than I've ever been. And it's just been a fantastic experience. I mean, last year, I'd never even imagined I would even make a movie with my girlfriend, Irina Monta. And we did that together. It was amazing. And I'm looking forward to the great and wonderful things that are going to be coming up this year for me. A lot of opportunities, some things I can't talk about yet because they're currently in development, but they're big things that are going to help propel my career to the next level. One thing I can discuss is I've got several meetings set up with some huge apps, vertical film apps, to potentially do some collaborations with, maybe even exclusively for a certain period of time, which would be great. So I'm just all very excited about the opportunities and what's to come in this year for me. I also wanted to share some answers to some main questions I've been asked over the last few months since I haven't been able to do podcasts with you guys, at least on my own. I've done a dozen or so over the course of this past year, answering a lot of great questions that were asked. And I appreciate you all so much for taking the time to pay attention to my films and enjoying my films. That really means a lot to me. I love what I do. So, the one thing that I really aim to do is to sort of take you out of your reality and live in the imagination and just go through that journey with me in my films. I always want to do my best to give you that experience and leave you feeling something pretty strong, pretty provocative after you watch a movie, something about yourself or just experiencing something that's pretty profound. That's always my goal when I make movies. I don't want to just be an actor and make money. I actually want to have my audience feel something that's pretty profound. So, and a lot of the mail and the responses I've been getting on my films have been exactly that. So thank you so much, and I hope to continue that. There's 5 questions that I've been asked a lot during the course of my time away from doing this podcast, so I want to go ahead and answer those for you guys. The first question is, have I enjoyed the films I've been making? Absolutely. Every film I've worked on has been very different from the next. Every take I do is different from the next. That's what makes my job as an actor, at least for me, so exciting. I'm always learning something about myself, and that's just exciting. And every director I work with, they have their own, unique style and unique take on things. Every actor I work with is very different. We all come from different educational backgrounds and history and experience. So we just bring all that into our work. And every actor, every actress I've worked with has been really great. I haven't had any negative experiences, even abroad when I've worked on my films in China. I did 3 movies last year in China. I worked on a film in Atlanta. I've done 2 films in New York this past year. And of course, the rest were mainly here in LA. But every film, no matter where I've been, has been a great experience. I've enjoyed it. The second question is, what's been my favorite film thus far? That's a good question. Every movie, like I said, I've done has been a great experience. But I think the one I really enjoyed most there's 2. My very first one, called Her Desired Alphas, that was especially exciting because I actually got to play 2 characters in that story as a lead. I was a werewolf. So one character, you're a werewolf, the other, you're a human being. And they're very different. And that one's my favorite because it was such a challenge, especially it was my first official lead role in a movie. The whole thing was just so exciting. And I was fresh out of acting class, so I was really dialed in on my craft as an actor, and I try to always be that in all my films. But when you leave an acting class, it's like walking out of batting practice when you've hit a home run and you're in batting practice, and you're stepping up to the plate in front of an actual pitcher. It's that exciting and that focused, you know, energy that I had on making that first movie. And I really wanted to do a great job, even though I was really nervous. You know, I learned a lot on that movie set. So that's one reason why that was my favorite. The other one was my very first that I made in China, Billionaire Cinderella Canvas, I believe it's called. It's a really good story. I enjoyed that because that was my first experience in China, making a movie in a different country with a whole different crew. The work ethic in China is very different. It's more demanding. It's more focused. They work towards perfection over there, and I really appreciated that. It made me a better actor. It made me focus better. I enjoyed it too. I mean, in between takes, we would laugh and have fun, but when it was time to work, it was time to work. And I mean, it's that way here too in America, but in China, it's a different kind of focused energy, and I really wanted to, you know, make them proud and have them call me back and bring me back, which of course they did on 2 other occasions. So that was a very satisfying feeling for me. The actress I worked on that project was fantastic. It was her first time doing a movie like this, and you know, just sort of being around such a sensitive situation was new to me. I'm used to working with veteran actors and actresses making these kinds of films, and for her, this was her first time. So it was sort of a great experience to be extra gentle and explain things and you know, make sure she understood that this was her movie, especially with the intimacy scenes. I always want my actresses to know that that is their scene. It's mine too, but you know, the way I see it is it's a dance, and I'm just their dance partner. They lead and I follow. So anything they're comfortable with, you know, as long as it fits the story well and it's not disrespectful to, of course, my girlfriend, and certainly if they have a partner, their partner. But just to make the film work and, you know, do things that are appropriate within the scene that work, that they're comfortable with. So that was an interesting experience for me to figure out. And also on that movie, you know, we didn't have an intimacy coordinator. They wanted us to sort of figure it out. So learning that to choreograph an actual intimacy scene was a huge experience to learn, and it was really fun. It was awkward, but it was also really fun once we figured it out. Got the camera guys working with us, and it was just really cool to just sort of collaborate and work on a scene like that and see how it turned out, which I'm very proud of. So yeah, those 2 films are my 2 favorites for sure so far. I also really enjoyed working on The Lust Game. That was a huge success, a huge ensemble cast full of great actors that had big followings, that had a lot of experience in this genre of the business. So that was a lot of fun too. The director was fantastic, a lot of fun, very funny, and just brought a lot of joy and positive energy into that project. So that was another one. It's just, I don't know, all my movies that I've done have just been great. Third question is, any type of films that I want to do that I haven't yet? That's another great question. Yes, there are. One I can talk about is I'd love to play the lead role playing a famous or, you know, successful rock drummer in a story who struggles to find real love and sort of go through that journey while he's this famous rock drummer. And the reason why I want to do that is because I've been a drummer my whole life, pretty much since I was 2 years old. Be able to display that skill and that talent in a film would just really be a dream beyond for me. So that's one movie that I would really like to make. Anything else? Yeah, I'd like to do more martial arts type films. I've grown up doing martial arts, you know, learning from different incredible martial artists, especially in my 20s and 30s. So to be able to implement some of those skills in my films a little more often would be great. Again, it's just finding things that I feel I'm really skilled at that a lot of actors may not have that skill. It's a rare thing to sort of bring a special skill onto a film as a lead character. And I'd really like that opportunity to do that more often. So, plus I've got a great car. I drive a Corvette, so that'd be fun to feature my car, you know, in a film as well. I've done that a couple times already, but it's always fun to use my dream car that I've wanted since high school that I officially own. And the fourth question is, any parts of the world you want to work in that you haven't yet? Another great question. Yes, I'd love to work in Australia. I'd love to shoot a movie over there. I'd love to make a movie in England over in Paris, Milan, Italy, or any part of Italy would be amazing. Any part of Europe would be amazing. I'd actually love to work in my girlfriend's hometown in Romania. That'd be incredible to shoot a movie up there. Maybe in Switzerland. Um, Maybe somewhere in the southern hemisphere, perhaps, South Africa. That'd be great. I mean, Australia, I guess, is south, but that'd be great. I'd also like to work in Vietnam. That'd be an incredible experience. I've heard great things about that country. Maybe even the Philippines. I'd love to go back to China. I'm always wanting to go back to China. It's just such a beautiful country, a great place to work. I'd love to work in Japan. That'd be great too. Lots of different places. Canada would be great. I've yet to make a movie in Canada. I've been offered many times, but haven't gone over there yet. So that would be really fun. I've skied over there, but I've never actually worked over there. So that'd be an interesting experience too. The final question is, what's next? What are your big goals for 2026? That's another great question. What is next? Well, unfortunately, there are some things I can't discuss because they're in the works and I need to keep quiet about it. But I am working very hard on promoting myself to get to the next level as an actor on some big things. And, what's next is my next film. Well, like I said in my earlier comments in this podcast, is I've got 2 film offers. One of them I turned down. The other one I'm thinking about. And it's a great story. It's a cute story. I'm a good guy in this one, so that's good. I've gotten a lot of questions over the last couple of months because of the last 3 or 4 movies I made. I played the bad guy. And people are like, why are you playing the bad guy? You're such a nice guy. Why would you want to do that? And, to answer that question, I like playing all characters that I have a feeling for, because I'm going to learn something about myself, and it's a great challenge to take on, even the ones that scare me, where I'm playing an all-out evil guy. My last movie I literally just did here in December in New York. Man, did I play such a the worst character I could even imagine I played. And I can't wait for you guys to see that movie. It was a real experience for me to sort of go through that and really live out those circumstances. And as an actor, I do my best to live out those circumstances as honest and as truthfully as I can. It's not just for me making a movie and, doing something over the top. It's really a challenge to see if I'm really in this situation, how would I really react, using the writer's lines for me to say and interact with the other actors in the scene. But how would I really feel, and what is this really going to make me do? That is such a fun challenge for me, and exciting and scary at times. But I love the challenge of it, because again, I'm always learning something about myself in this business. And for me, that's one of my main goals as an actor, is constantly learning and growing as a human being while working, as an artist. So it's a great privilege. One of my big goals in 2026 is honestly just to continue to keep working. I would like to be as busy as I was in 2025, if not more. Making more money, of course, working on larger films, working with perhaps actors in the A-list sector and the SAG world would be amazing. There are opportunities there. There's goals for me to travel a little bit more with my girlfriend, head overseas to do some international travel with her, see my family more often. Back in Atlanta, I've got my parents there, so it'd be great to see them a little bit more throughout the year. My brother also, I've got an older brother. He lives in Kentucky, but he travels a bit. Would love to see him. So a lot of personal goals, but also some big professional goals as well that I've got lined up for myself that I would like to achieve. And what's great is last year, my biggest goal was to land a big agent. And I literally did that at the end of November. So I achieved the goal just before the end of the year. I'm very happy about that, because having this person and their company in my corner now is going to help propel my career to the next level for sure, with bigger opportunities to audition for larger films, bigger paydays on the work that I do, which is always great. But I love being an actor no matter what. So I know this year is gonna bring some very interesting opportunities that I've yet to even imagine. That's another big goal, is to just keep staying in the gym and being as healthy as I possibly can. It's kind of hard when you're on the road making movies, or even being here in LA making a movie. The schedule's different. I'm on set 15, 16 hours a day sometimes, and the commute back and forth to the locations also require time away from the gym and being at home to rest. So I'm on average getting maybe 4 hours of sleep, 3.5 hours of sleep every night when I'm making a movie, because the first thing I do is I get up in the morning and go to the gym, That's for me is the best time to go when I'm working on a movie, because I'm too tired when I get home. I've exhausted a lot of my energy through the emotional state that I'm in throughout making this film. Whatever it is, and even the physical, having to pick up my lead actress and carry her off camera or lay her down somewhere or on a couch or whatever, or the physical fight scenes, all that stuff, it requires a lot of energy. So I want to make sure I'm at my best, so I get to the gym first thing in the morning. But yeah, I just want to make sure I continue to stay in my best shape, keep my nutrition on point, even when I'm working on movies. I make sure that Kraft and the producers know that I have a very strict nutritional program that I stick with. Try to keep it as close as I possibly can when I'm not working on a film here at home. So yeah, there's those goals too. But ultimately, I'm just so happy and thrilled to continue to be working in this business, and things are getting better and better and better. That's been my goal, is to just keep moving forward. Ton of auditions, and a lot of these auditions I take on purpose. I don't have to audition as much, but I choose to, because a lot of these auditions are for casting people I haven't read yet, and I want casting directors to know who I am, and the only way they're going to really know is if they see me read for them, not just the films I've already done, but I want them to know that, despite me being successful as an actor, I'm still very hungry to achieve big goals for myself, and I'm willing to audition. Of course, it's better to be offered film parts, which I am, but I'm just really grateful for every opportunity that I get, and I do my best to audition for every movie that I possibly can that I have a strong feeling for. There's a lot of auditions I don't do on purpose because I just don't have a strong feeling for that particular character that they wrote, or the story just doesn't sit well with me. So I do have limitations and standards and morals that I like to stick to with my films. There's things I will do, there's things I won't do, and I stick to my guns on all of that. In fact, when I did my film in New York just recently here in December, they wanted me to slap a woman, and I said absolutely not. It's in my contract. I'm not going to slap a woman. I will rescue her from being slapped. I will rescue her from being raped or some kind of scenario that's really extreme, but I will not be the one who is physically harming a woman by slapping her or kicking her or anything like that. So, they communicated that to the writers, and the writers were like, oh, well, we'll just have him, do something else. Lots more to share as things develop, for sure. I'll keep you posted. Keep watching my Instagram stories. It's TJ Wilk Official, and also I'm on Facebook under TJ Wilk, but I mainly post on Instagram. I noticed that for me, at least, that's where a lot of my audience pays attention to what I'm doing, and it's where I like to post anyways. It's just easy for me, and I enjoy it. Posting these hilarious stories and my little behind the scenes stuff I post on film sets I'm doing and in the gym and whatnot. So I just try to keep the positive energy going with what I'm doing and sharing all the great things happening, so that it also hopefully inspires you and uplifts, encourages you in the things that you're doing and what you want to do in your life as well. So thank you guys all so much for tuning in. I hope you all stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.